5 minutes? Really? Crap, I'm glad this is perfect timing. Time flies when you're rocking. No. Second most important reason, everybody else is watching you. And so if you just kind of like, if they're like kind of closing the group in and you see that they're not responding, if you just kind of put your head down and slink away in shame, they're all going to say, oh man, that guy just got shot down hard. Right? But instead, if you say, you know what, it's been great talking to you girls, have a great night, walk away, then all of a sudden they're like, oh, seems like a fun, cool, social guy. Those girls are just kind of awkward and cold. Like girls all know that some girls are just icy. Like that's commonly accepted in girl knowledge. They'll be like, oh, those are those girls. I hope I don't want to be those girls. Mothers always ask them why they're not married. It's every girl's nightmare. It's fantastic. Yeah. Number 3 reason is the most important, I would say, though. You do it for you. You do it for you. You're saying, no, I'm not ending this on your terms. You're not rejecting me. You're not trying to sit here and say, I'm not good enough for you. All right? You're the socially awkward one. You're the weirdo. I'm ending this on my terms. I'm saying goodbye to you. You walk away a little bit taller. You walk away a little bit stronger. You walk away with a little bit more confidence for your next interaction every single time. It's magical, I promise you. Sometimes when they're really like icy, when they're really kind of bitchy, I'll be patronizing. You know what? It's been such a pleasure talking to you guys. I really hope you have a good rest of the night. Good luck with everything, girls. Good luck with everything. Makes me feel a little bit better. I don't recommend it. It's kind of a dick move, but it makes me feel a little bit better. And to close this all off, because we're wrapping up.
Nick, you do have time for Q&A.
Awesome. Just in case you were wondering what happened in Amsterdam, as I started to give him more validation, he started working for me more. He started giving more back to me. I was giving him exactly what he was looking for, so this guy loved me. So he started, yeah, bro, and then I did that and that. Oh, yeah, it was really cool. Oh, man, yeah, so we were doing this, and it was totally fun. Yeah, we did that and that. No way, that's sweet. Shut up. And I'm being genuine here. You can't fake this, because he's going to know you're just effing with him, right? No way, that's really sweet. And as he started coming towards me more, like talking more, because I'm like, getting him more excited that I'm really into what he's talking about, I started leaning back a little bit. No way! Shut up! It's wild. Get out of here. It's so cool. And I started talking less and less, and everybody else was now looking at me, and I was leaving back, because the center of attention was now giving all his attention to me. Of course, everybody else in the group is going to be giving their attention to me. And so they stopped asking questions. Yeah, cool, man. Great. Awesome. All right. Cool. Kind of winded down. Of course, as I leaned back, my sweet Romanian girl started cuddling back up next to me. I had her leaning back towards me, too. I just look at her and say, want to go grab a beer? Got out of there, had a beer, had a wonderful rest of the vacation together. Douche-free as possible. So. That's how you take the masculine role in a conversation. Thank you, guys. Questions, please. 2 questions we have. We'll let you please decide so I don't have to be the asshole.
Okay, called it. Great speech, love it a lot.
Thank you.
I really have a question. What kind of emotional response are you trying to elicit when you are employing this tactic?
Good question.
From her? And then what's the kind of line drawn between how it comes across as creepy and how it comes across as being a boss when you're just sitting there in the zone?
Question you: how can you come across as creepy?
I just feel like that maybe like the death stare that you give the girls, not you in particular, but just anybody if they were to try this out. So I feel like some girls might find it like, why is this guy just saying, oh, really? And then just staring at me,
Yeah.
I can kind of feel like some girls. I'm really creeped out. No, I'm
Great
just kidding.
question. No. Really great question. So many guys are terrified of this whole being creepy thing. Like I push eye contact as hard as you could ever imagine. And I always challenge my guys at the beginning of a weekend. I will challenge you to get shot down for making too much eye contact. I dare you to. Dare you to. And the thing is, can you make too much eye contact? Absolutely. But most guys are so far on the opposite end of that they need to try to overdo it to overcompensate for their huge deficiency. And some guys try to overcompensate. They're not even close to where that line is. They got to try to overdo it one more time. And being creepy is the number one fear and number one excuse that guys use to keep themselves back in this position. So I would say don't even worry about being creepy, because if you're seeing consistency issues, you're so far down at this end. Like, that should be the last of your fears, okay? What is creepy? The guys who get shot down by making too much eye contact, it's always the same, right? They're just staring at a girl with no facial expression. I always say, didn't I say facial expression, one of the most important things? No facial expression. And a girl looks at them, and it's not a bad look. The girl's just like, well, right? She gives you that look like, what do you want? Guys always take that as a bad sign. Guys always take that as like, oh, she doesn't like me, I'm doing something creepy. Why? She just wants to know, like, well, what, dude? Are you gonna say something, or are you just gonna stand there? That's all she wants to know. Like, are you gonna fucking talk to me, or what? So I say the only guys that ever get shot down for making too much eye contact, they either have a dead expression on their face, or when the girl's like, what? They just don't do anything. They just, okay. What is creepy? Really, really simple. All creepy is if a girl shows you in any way, shape, or form that she's uncomfortable with something, if you keep doing it. Creepy is you're so in your own world, you're not even paying attention like to anyone else. You're almost like cut off from, that's creepy. I wouldn't be worrying about that with you right now. I'd be worried about making more eye contact, making enough eye contact, yeah? And doing something when she gives you that, well, what look. Smile when you do it. Though I want to really briefly say, too, that expression that everything's okay, especially when you go up to start a conversation, so important, because she's always going to be looking at you. She's always going to look to you and say, well, is this going to be comfortable or is this not? And if she looks at you and you have a look on your face that says, this is not okay, this is not comfortable, she won't be comfortable with it. If you have a look on your face that says, everything's all right, nothing to worry about, we're just having a good time, out at the bar, chit-chatting, don't worry, I'm not a psycho killer, I'm just a dude, no problem, it's fine. She's always going to look to you, though, especially in those first 5 seconds, to let her know whether you're okay or not, or whether this is okay or not. Thank you. Good question. Yes.
Nick, great speech again.
Thank
So I have a two-part question. One is, in the community, there has been a traditional view on making a lot of statements as opposed to asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of wanted to ask for your opinion on that, because I've been taught that once you make too many questions at the start, you're putting the conversational pressure on her, and making statements kind of does the opposite. And my second question as a follow-up to that is, when you ask a question, should it be a question that always open a lot of threads? For example, a question, an open-ended question, as opposed to something like, how tall are you, which probably doesn't lead to a lot of,
To answer your second question, I don't care that much. I don't. I'm not trying that hard. To answer your first question, which was asking questions, using statements instead. I like statements to start a conversation, but I'll use questions just as easily to start a conversation. Well, like sometimes, like I'll just say one thing I like is like if you're feeling something positive, to share that with whoever. Like, I love this song, right? Statements are also great for day game, for daytime talking to girls. Like opening conversations with just a general statement about your surroundings is always a good way to start those conversations. But would I also agree that you don't want to ask too many questions? Yeah. Like I said, I'm only trying a bare minimum of time. The vast majority of the time, she should be doing the vast majority of the talking, and I'm just listening, I'm just relating and personalizing, I'm just overly empathetic child, I'm forcing her to contribute. So I'm barely asking questions. But I do it because it works. It's easy to remember. I don't want to have anything too complicated. To dovetail into your second question a little bit, well, this complicated thing, should it be this kind of question? All I know is that in that moment when this girl is looking at me and I think she's gorgeous and she's making my heart beat out of my chest, I can't think of any of that shit. I just need a rope that I can grab onto. I just need the most simple thing that can pop into my head. First level when I'm trying, hey, how's it going? What are you guys up to? Blah, blah, blah. So where are you from? And once she starts to light up, I have a second tier of questions. And it's just all about her. Like once she starts to light up, once she starts to open up, showing that she's interested in you, I stop all the joking around or talking about this and that, and I want to know, I just hone in, who are you? The second tier of questions is all about her hopes, her dreams, her passions, who she is. So once she starts opening up, the second thing I'm going right into is, So, like, what are you into? Like, what are you passionate about? Who are you? I want to know, like, what turns you on? You know, what could you be if you didn't have to spend any money? That whole kind of thing. That's what I'm going to try to get into, hopes, dreams, and passions. And like I said, I don't think about it much further than that. Thank you. Cool. That's it. Thank you again, guys, very much. I appreciate it. Cheers.